Let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra because it's already 6 months, guys. 6 months of using the S24 Ultra, and in this video I'm gonna give you my honest opinion after half a year of using the S24 Ultra, right? But because it's blurred, you cannot tell this is the S23 Ultra and this here is my S24 Ultra, right? So practically, is this the same phone? Yes or no? Is this holding up quite nice after 6 months of use? And I would not lie if I say 6 months of abuse, because I've been really using it more as a power user, diving with this thing without any protection, 3 meters in sea, salt water, then rinsing it, stuff like this. Honestly, I was thinking, yeah, this time I'm gonna break it. But after 6 months, guys, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about the S24 Ultra. And let's not sugarcoat it. It has a lot of issues, right? First thing to start is the price. Samsung was pricing this phone about 1,100 euro, and of course there were some gifts here and there, but eventually it's a very expensive phone, and for a very expensive phone it should do some very nice things in the best possible way. And nice things is like everyday operation, smooth animation, camera, and etc. And specifically when we are talking about camera, the S24 Ultra and almost all the Samsung phones right now are very good, right? When you're shooting still objects, like I used to joke, like if you shoot dead things, landscape's gonna be good. But if you try to shoot moving kids, if you try to shoot walking pets, if you try to shoot playing kids with pets, this is not going to end up good in the auto mode. But there are 1,000 tons of things that you can use on these phones to make it work better, right? Like, is this really good because it's supposed to work out of the box? No, it's not. Can you fine tune it to still get the job done? Yes, you can, using the Pro mode and other things. Should you do? Of course, if you want to get nice pictures, but let's be honest, it should really work out of the box most of the time. There is a bit of controversy when Samsung released the S24 Ultra. They changed the 10X. By changing, actually, they just deleted it, just removed it. You know, like Apple were doing things in the past, like removing the headphone jack. And yeah, just Samsung decided to remove the 10X optical zoom here from the S23 Ultra and give us a 5X optical zoom. And is the 5X optical zoom good? I think it is, right? But then what happens with the 10X? Yeah, sometimes it is almost the same with the S23 Ultra, but when you up the game from 10X to 30X, well, disappoints, because the S23 Ultra is still able to take some very good shots, and I do believe that the 10X here is still, I mean, it's missing from here, right? Obviously it's not there. So definitely a downside if you want to go 10X and above, right? And the other thing is, specifically, I've been using phones like the Vivo X100 Ultra in the past, absolutely flagship killer phone, best camera, best in class, top camera specifically for zoom. And the funny thing is, yeah, it also uses Samsung sensors, right? Like the 200 megapixel zoom sensor in the Vivo X100 Ultra also comes from Samsung. But will we get it hopefully in the S25 Ultra? Most probably not. For a lot of reasons, right? Like, because even design, right? Design matters. So now, guys, let me try to give you my honest opinion about the S24 Ultra. Is this the best phone that you can buy with your money in mid-2024? Last year, I was inclined to say yes for the S23 Ultra. Right now, I know a lot of you are waiting for me to say yes. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. If you want to get really a lot of the work done, buy the S24 Ultra, right? You'll have to do a lot of compromises with things that you're probably not gonna like, right? But this phone will not let you down. If you don't go crazy, camera phone, avoid it. Buy the Vivo, buy the Oppo. If you wanna go the best video, buy the iPhone. And most probably the S24 Ultra is still going to be like the best all-around phone. Another big thumbs up for the ecosystem, guys, because I'm using the Watch Ultra, which is actually becoming a very nice product in my honest opinion, specifically with the first update, and there is already a second one, and also the Buds 3. I did a review, you can watch my review. The Buds 3 Pro are absolutely fantastic, you know, with these nice lights here, etc. Check my review. So the Buds 3 Pro with the S24 Ultra and with the Galaxy Watch Ultra, like, this combination is very good, right? I'm not saying you cannot get this when you use Pixel products with buds and watches, and probably also Xiaomi and Oppo whatsoever. But right now here, this has been tested. So all of these three things, they do work. They're not the best in all possible categories, but on an average line, I'll think that they get the job done. And this is very important because sometimes, like, Even the best phones can disappoint you, they can let you down. And the S24 Ultra can also let you down in a number of ways you probably even will not think about it. Like for example, battery life. Like for example, dimming the brightness outside. So in this video, without any sugarcoating guys, I'm gonna give you my honest review on the S24 Ultra. Half a year, time flies, right? Let's start. And let's be honest, this comes from a guy that really covers Samsung a lot. So if you just go and watch the videos that I released over the past 6 months, yeah, a lot of this is really based on Samsung products. Of course, I have Xiaomi, I have Oppos and Vivos. I need to, right? Because of course we need to understand where the competition is against this phone. But Samsung is really also well covered. So if you want to check really how the S24 Ultra stacks again the Vivos and the Oppos and even the iPhones and the Xiaomis, you're more than welcome to just dive deep in this content here. But now let's start. The first thing I want to acknowledge about this phone is really the design. I like this boxy shape. When this first came out, everybody said, listen, this is the Samsung Galaxy Note design. It is really the Note design. It's very distinctive. And of course, how do we know? Well, we do have also the S Pen. Probably the only phone on earth right now, right, that has an S Pen. And with this S Pen, you can do a lot of nice things like working on Excel or let's say edit your videos with the stock video editor that I do believe is kind of important, because if you start a gallery, guys, I done a lot of my recent videos while I was on vacation working with my S Pen and trying to cut all the edits with the S Pen. And honestly, with the finger, this is almost impossible. But with the help of the S Pen, yeah, you can just take up your productivity to the next level and do the required cuts whatsoever. So it's quite easy. So the S Pen definitely a factor here and complements the whole design. Just take a look at the frame, guys, right? Boxy design, nice aluminum frame, and take a look at the back. Now, I'm not showcasing my phone very often without cases. By the way, I do use it with Banks cases. They are sent to me by Banks, but honestly, I do believe those are one of the best cases that you can buy with money. So with the Banks case, right, still, I do like the fact that I don't have these annoying camera bumps. I kind of like the Vivos and the Oppos and the Xiaomis, but I cannot really take this bump so easy. Of course, I understand that you need a lot of space, just physical space, to put a 1-inch sensor and all these zoom and periscope things. But honestly, I do like the design of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And it's also a very big phone. Of course, this design has also some disadvantages. Why? Well, yeah, it is really killing you in the arm, right? So if you want to use phones like this, you need to train your arm here and just make it tough, because this is gonna hurt, right? And now I think after 6 months and the last years, I've been used to it. But if you have very gentle hands, then most probably this is not going to be so good for you, right? It is absolutely not rounded here. So design-wise, the Galaxy S24 Ultra stands out. You go somewhere, you put it somewhere on the table, people know this is a Samsung phone. Let's address the screen. Honestly, I don't have any issues with this screen. It is a beautiful screen. It has a WQHD resolution, right? So it is QHD+, so I call it WQHD. It does also run at 120 Hz. It's called motion smoothness. It is very, very bright, by the way, like really, really, really bright. And I really have one issue with this screen. The problem is that the moment I go outside and I'm using here the extra brightness, now I'm not using it, but if I use the extra brightness and I go outside, guys, my phone will get warm, then hot, and my screen is gonna get dimmed. So although it is a very beautiful screen, very bright and very nice and vivid colors, as you can see, I have this issue since I bought this phone. And the moment the sun shines on this phone, I think the phone starts to heat, and then boom, my screen brightness dims. This is absolutely annoying. I have to warn you, like I promised, guys, there's not gonna be any sugar coating. So the display is really one of the best around, but I don't like the fact that it dims so often, and it's really problematic. And by the way, you can even watch it here, right? This is my August review with the phone. I'm here on the beach, right? But still under the shade with the sun, you can see, right? And by the way, this is PWM, right? So the good thing about this display is my eyes are okay. I can just use it for hours and hours. And the problem only is I'm not happy with the dimming. So I covered the design, the build quality, and also the display. And of course, the next things I want to showcase to you guys is the sound, because the speakers, oh yeah, they are really amazing, right? Just listen to this, right? And by the way, you can go and check out Netflix. Absolutely fantastic music, no copyright. I'm very happy with the speakers. The sound coming from the Galaxy S24 Ultra is very good. I compare it also against the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the S23 Ultra, and I do believe that the iPhone 15 Pro Max has a bit more of a bass, etc. But this sound here is very nice, very balanced, very well pronounced. So the speakers here, I want to say amazing. They're probably not amazing, but very close to being amazing. Yeah, when you use your phone a lot and you interact with this, you know what is going to happen. Yeah, now let's speak about the battery life. Battery life, honestly, 5000 mAh, right? You have a lot of protection built. You have the basic protection, you have the adaptive protection that you can charge up your phone based on your sleeping habits, and then you have maximum protection. You have tons of options like charging settings for fast wireless charging, the wireless power sharing and information. Yeah, all is so nice, guys, but the only issue I have with this is, well, the battery is just not enough. My criteria for a perfect, awesome battery is going to be like 6 hours SOT screen on time with combined usage Wi-Fi and also 5G, right? Okay, or 4G. This battery here is giving me something between 4 hours and 6 hours. So yeah, it's not the best. It is also not just, let's say, typical average, so it's a bit above average, but honestly, I'm not so happy, right? And you can just see my patterns here. The battery uses 163%, screen on time 8 hours, but with a double charging. So you can see my patterns, guys. I need to charge this phone almost like twice in 24 hours. Like usually I'll put it here on a charging pad, take it up 8 o'clock in the morning, go around, have coffee, start some work. But then, guys, at some point I'm gonna be like with 20-25%, and this is not ideal. So I'm not sure what Samsung are doing, or perhaps the A Gen 3 is very power hungry, but I am not getting the best battery life from the S24 Ultra. It is still a bit more than decent, right? So it's not decent, it's better than decent, but I wish that it's more. Now, about productivity, guys, well, One UI is one of the best mobile operating system. I've done tons of videos about this. You have things like the Good Lock, where you can go and download individual modules to use them to modify the home screen, the notifications, the lock screen, the wallpapers, create your own wallpapers, custom keyboards. There are so many nice things here that, I mean, you have to watch my videos, guys. I did plenty of videos, 100 operation plus routines. No other mobile operating system is even close to what they offer you, and this is absolutely stock. This doesn't require you rooting your phone, tampering with it. You just go download this. The only issue with the Good Lock is it's gear restricted, so sometimes it's not gonna work, and then yeah, I have also videos for that, so this can be easily dealt with. So in terms of productivity, guys, again, One UI, really one of the best out there, and you can do plenty of things, and you can minimize applications and end up with icons like this. It's really good, right? You can also connect this to your PC. We have also the DeX, right? So if you connect this via a cable to your PC, you can use Samsung DeX and bring this to the desktop. A very nice experience as well. So in terms of productivity, combined with the S Pen and what One UI can do, I think it's like simply in top 3. It's really good. So here I don't have any negative things to say. Now, guys, we will come to the camera. Hey, hi there. I do believe camera is great, right? I'm not saying awesome, and the only reason why I'm not saying awesome is the fact that when you try to shoot moving objects, most of the time it's gonna work, but sometimes it's going to fail, and these failures apparently are a bit more often than compared of what I used with the Vivo and the Oppos. And again, the Vivo and the Oppos are using a 1-inch sensor already for like 3 generations, so I do believe that Samsung are lagging a bit. And specifically, guys, with the zoom, like I told you, they replaced the 10x camera with the 5x camera, so 10x is a hybrid, and it is not the best in class. Like honestly, this kind of is a disappointment, right? Although again, if you want to play a bit more with this, you can become good. You can use the Pro Video, you can use the Pro Camera. With custom settings, guys, you are able to take decent photos, or because again, remember Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, you can just install something like AGC. It's a very nice and popular Google camera mode, and from here you're gonna really get crazy with all the options that you want and with all the scenes that you want. And with Google Camera, guys, you can really elevate your photographic experience, right? So again, the camera, the auto settings are not the greatest, right? I would say probably even below average, but you can first use Pro modes to kind of fix it. But if you're lazy like I am, just go and install any of the Gcams there, yeah, and then you are going to elevate your experience. So now let's talk about operations, because again, this is a phone that costs a lot of money, and I've done tons of video about the animations, and the thing with the animations is that most of the time they're really very good. Like most of the time they're nice. My personal issue is that when I'm paying this amount of money, I don't expect just, once in a while to be very good. I expect 100% smooth operation, which I can achieve in the Xiaomis and the Oppos and the Vivos, and sadly not here. And I know that Samsung are putting a lot of efforts to try to optimize this, right? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that sometimes, it will micro stutter or micro lag. And there is the other thing that apparently Samsung are still not implementing non-linear animation, which means that I can run one animation, directly try to stop it, run another one, which you can pretty much do in the Xiaomis and the Vivos and the Oppos and the iPhones, right? But not apparently here. I've seen a lot of things, a lot of leaks for One UI 7. I don't know how much of this is real, but if even 50% of all these leaks are real, then the One UI 7 could be finally the holy grail for a smooth operation. And by the way, don't get me wrong, this phone operates smooth. The problem is with consistency, because once in a while it will micro stutter and micro lag. Now let me try to get something on the camera. I'll run Instagram, alright, Insta. Don't use this anyway, just for testing here. In the moment, guys, I initiate the viewfinder. Okay, you see, the viewfinder brings the screen from 120 to 60 Hz refresh, and then there is this choppy animation first time. I don't like this. Now, when I go outside, it's okay. Sometimes even this is not okay. Like just tiny things like this, but I do believe that Samsung should make them better. And I told you in this video, I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat things, so this is the truth that I see it. And now it's time for a recap. So, what is my honest opinion after half a year of using the S24 Ultra, and will I buy the S25 Ultra? Although we probably know we're not gonna get a big upgrade, probably just some tiny things, probably not even the 200 megapixel zoom camera that we had in the Vivos. Well, my answer is yes, I will buy the S25 Ultra, and yes, this is gonna be my main driver, and I can tell you 1000 reasons to start with, right? All the phones that I use, I try to import from China, the Chinese ones. I don't use the global versions because they are more expensive, which means that I don't get to use eSIM and also Android Auto. On my vacation, I had to use it, and it was really important for me. And sadly, with all these Chinese phones, again, China released, you don't have these options. A lot of these nice phones, like the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, they do also have global versions. This issue doesn't exist there, but the Vivo X100 Ultra doesn't, right? And it's still one of the best camera phones out there. So we have to deal with these compromises. Now Google released the Pixels, and Android 15 is almost there, but it's not. So hopefully September, October, we're gonna have a full glance at Android 15, and the One UI 7 beta one is also delayed. And I really hope that Samsung are spending their efforts to really try to make things work better. I'm not saying they're worse right now, but I know that this phone deserves better in terms of camera, moving objects better, in terms of battery life better, in terms of smoothness and operation. So if you hear me talking, you might think like, then why the hell are you still using this as your main driver? For a month and a half, the Vivo was, and then before the Xiaomi was, and then etc. and etc. Also the Redmi Turbo 3, which you can also check on the channel. So I always like to return to the Samsung phones, but right now, guys, I have to be honest with you. If I have to choose a camera phone, I'll directly go to Vivo X100 Ultra. If I have to choose a video phone, then iPhone 15 Pro Max, although the video camera is very nice and the stabilization is crazy good, right? But the problem is I cannot carry one Vivo phone for the camera, photo, one iPhone for the video, one phone for this and that. So eventually I'm just saying, listen, it's gonna be Samsung, here I have Google camera as well, etc. So again, it's all about the compromises, but I do like the form factor, I do like the design, and I really want Samsung to surprise us with One UI 7. So overall, right, again, no sugarcoating, 6 months of S24 usage. I don't want to say that I'm amazed. I also don't want to say I'm disappointed. It's a mixture between a lot of small disappointments and a lot of small amazements. So I do believe it's somewhere in between, right? And I hope that Samsung will balance things from the disappointments towards the more amazement parts. Thank you guys for watching. This was my honest review. I told you, no sugarcoating here. Thanks for watching again. Stay safe, VST, over and bye.